Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you, and today I want to get into a pair of kicks that my wife's account hit for on the sneakers app. It's actually a Dunk Low. This was a women's exclusive, although I wish it would have been full family sizing because I love this pair. They look so good. Anytime I hit Dunk Lows on sneakers, I feel like it's kind of like a miracle, so I can't wait to get into these with y'all. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's look at these vintage green Dunk Lows. You know what's crazy is this morning, both of my kids had, one kid had a 2-hour delay, one kid had a 3-hour delay because of freezing rain or whatever. And like the cherry blossoms up there, I don't know if you can see them. All the flowers on there, they all got killed by frost and all that, so now it went from being real pretty to just a brown color. But it's like 70 degrees out now. It was freezing this morning, and both the kids had a delay because of the weather, and now it's just absolutely gorgeous. But I guess that means that summer's coming soon at least. So anyhow, I'm not a weatherman, I'm a shoe guy, but standard box, same that we always get, just a GR box. It looks tiny because my wife ordered these in her size, not mine. And the tag reads, Women's Nike Dunk Low, White, Pro Green, and Coconut Milk. So like I said, this is a women's exclusive, which I think is stupid, because these are dope as dope can be, and they're not like overly feminine or anything. I think a ton of people would probably rock these things. But this is a size 7, and there's no price on there. I think they were $110 US, if I remember correctly. But very affordable, but very hard to get for retail. And man, these are the coolest looking Dunk Lows that I have seen in a minute. Like, I know everybody's all about pandas and everything, but I'm not even lying. Like, I like these more than the pandas. And now typically the metallic finish on these green panels, like usually that might kind of turn me off, but it really works on these, and it's not loud and like in your face. It's not real flashy looking or anything. These things just look dope as dope can be, with that dark green outsole and this nice, I forget what kind of green they said it is. On the app they called it vintage green, but Pro Green and Coconut Milk. I think that this metallic finish on this green, along with the sail or coconut milk midsole, I just think this is a winning combination. And on this retro silhouette, man, these shoes are insane to me. I don't know, this might be my favorite Dunk Low since the cheetah and the zebra. I like the Chicago, like the 75th anniversary ones, but I just think as far as being wearable, like wearable for every day, just throwing them on feet and looking good with just about anything, I think these take the cake. I mean, these are the bee's knees, you know? And I don't know what numbers were like, but I don't think numbers were that high considering the demand for them. So I know like initially whenever they dropped, resale prices were up over 300. And I think now they've dropped to up near 300, but they're not quite at that $300 range. I could see these being pretty sought after for a while. I don't like to predict that kind of stuff because it could always change, but I think these have a certain look and a certain style that is brand new, but it's just got a retro feel at the same time. These are an A+ in my book. So I didn't realize that the sock liner is like this kind of, it looks like corduroy, but it's like ribbed. But I like that touch on it. I just like everything about these. The mix of bright white and that, I guess that's coconut milk. I do wish that it had a coconut milk tongue instead of just having the bright white tongue. Like if the tongue was like the color of these laces, I think that would have been nice, but I can't complain about that. These things are dope. Anyhow, to the review. It's your standard dunk tread pattern, and it's just this nice dark green color. Looks good. Pivot point in the front, Nike branding in the midfoot. Looks a lot like a Jordan 1 outsole. And then you can see that green color comes up to meet that coconut milk midsole or sail colored midsole. I don't know, you could call it either or. I think sail colored stitching goes the whole way around, and it just looks nice and clean. And then coming up from that midsole on the mud guard, we'll take our first look at this nice metallic green colored leather. And it actually feels nice. It actually feels really soft. I would have to imagine that it's like synthetic, but looking at it in the light, it almost looks like it's a little bit like cracked and that sort of thing. And even though it's metallic, it is as sunny could be right now. And you can see, at least I think you can see, it's not like they're shining like a mirror or something like that. Like, I think it's just done well. I really like the finish on that. But you've got this nice dark green color on the mud guard, and then going up the eye stays for the swoosh, and then wrapping around the back. And on all those panels, we've got a dark green stitching that matches the color perfectly. We also have that metallic green leather up here on the heel tab underneath of that white Nike branding, and that looks nice. But I mean, these things just came out beautifully. I really wish that they were my size. I really, really wish they were my size, but can't win them all, I guess. Aside from this green material, the base is just all a bright white leather, and it's nothing, you know, fancy or anything. It's just your standard dunk white leather. It's not the softest I've felt on a dunk. It's not the worst I've felt on a dunk. It's just, you know, mid-range dunk leather, but it's got a little bit of texture on it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but of course on the toe box there, it's got all those perforations like we always get. And then you can see that there on the side panels underneath the swoosh. And then you can also see that white leather peeking through up here around the collar and then the back. And I always got to point out, this is my favorite aspect of a dunk is just these little lines of stitching in the back. And you can tell that's white to match out white panel, but it looks really good. Coming around to the tongue, it's just your standard white nylon dunk tongue, and it's got bright white piping going around it. Like I said, it would have been neat just to see another little touch of that coconut milk color. Maybe even if the piping would have been that coconut milk or something. But I guess these will get a 98 out of 100 instead of an A+, just for that. But it's got a white tag, and on the tongue it just says Nike and has a swoosh there in that green color. And then, like I already mentioned, this sock liner has a nice ribbed texture to it. It looks like corduroy, but it kind of feels, I don't know, it's not like super soft or anything, but I think it looks cool. I think it adds to that vintage look of it. And then the insole is also that hunter green color, that dark green, and you can see the Nike branding down on the insole in that coconut milk color. But that was just a quick look. I think these things are dope. I really wish I had them in my size. Have a good one.